What is a toile, muslin, prototype or mock-up? Hello everyone and welcome back to Joys It Flies. If you're new here, my name's Cassidy and I deal with the sewing side of this channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you all about prototypes, toiles, muslins or mock-ups. Just so we're clear for the rest of the video, those four names all mean the exact same thing. They're just four different names. And later on in the video, I will give a little explanation about why it has four different names and the meaning behind the four different names, like the history behind it. But for this video, for clarification, I'm going to be calling it a prototype, just so we don't all get confused, and prototype is the name that I generally use. So now that we've got that explanation out the way, in this video, I'm going to be telling you what a prototype is and why it's so important to make it and things like that. I talk about the importance of sewing a prototype all of the time in my short form content over on Instagram or here on YouTube. And if you're a beginner and if you're very new into the sewing world, you may be like, well, what is a prototype? I'm going to be telling you all about it today. And also I have lots of people saying that they can't be bothered to sew a prototype. So I hope in this video that I'm going to be able to emphasize the importance of sewing a prototype, and hopefully after this video you will start sewing one. So what is a prototype? A prototype is basically a practice run before your final project. So say you have a sewing project that you really want to make, before going ahead and sewing it in the proper fabric and sewing it properly, you just get any scrap fabric that you have lying around. I just use anything that I don't mind ruining and wasting, and you just get that and just sew the project in a rough way before you sew your final project, like a rough draft before the final project. Why should I even bother sewing a prototype? This is the main question that gets asked. So there is one main reason, and that's to check the fit of the garment. Now this is important if you're making your own sewing patterns or you're buying them. If you're buying them, you may think because it's a bought pattern that the fit's going to be great because it's a sold pattern, they should be getting it right, which is very true, they should. But it's kind of like buying clothes at the shop. They are just made for one standard size, whereas all of our bodies are completely different sizes. So the size chart may say all of these different measurements for the sizes, but you might not fit into one of those size charts and you may want to make adjustments onto the clothes. And it's really great to do that on a practice piece instead of the final project, because if you mess it up and say something's too small on it, you need to recut all of the fabric and resew it again, and say you don't have any fabric left over to do it. Then you're kind of stuffed. And the same goes for if you're making your own pattern pieces. I basically only make my own sewing patterns now. So if I make something, say I drape it on my tailor's dummy, once again, my tailor's dummy is roughly the same size as me, but I know for a fact that she's got a shorter torso, she's got a larger bust than me, things like that. I then need to check that on my body and then make any adjustments on the pattern that are necessary so that it fits me. And once again, why would I do that on the final fabric and potentially waste my nice fabric instead of doing it on a practice fabric that I don't mind messing up? And if you still need convincing after that very long monologue, then another example is, say you're a beginner and in the pattern there are techniques that you've not used, that you may want to practice those techniques before doing it on the final project. Another one is, say when I'm creating my sewing patterns, I may drape this amazing design on my tailor's dummy and then not know how to construct that design. So sewing a mock-up means that I know how to sew it, and then I've got a rough idea of what techniques I need to use, how I need to sew it before I go into the final project. But I think the main reason is nobody wants to waste their nice fabric. Nobody wants to waste fabric, and no matter how good at sewing you are sometimes going to make mistakes. I've been sewing for 6 years and I know for a fact that every new sewing pattern that I sew, I make a mistake on the prototype. The last project I did, my pretty in pink dress, you may have seen it on the channel, I sewed a total of 5 prototypes for that dress. If I had designed the pattern, gone straight into the fabric, I would have wasted metre after metre of fabric. So it makes so much more sense for me to buy, say, a sheet in a charity shop for £1 and use that to make a prototype instead of wasting my lovely fabric that I've just spent £9 a metre for. Sorry, that ended up being a bit of a rant. I'm very sorry about that. But the next question is, how do I actually go about sewing a prototype? Now this is a genuine question because when I first started sewing prototypes, when I learned that I needed to, I sewed my prototypes perfectly. I did it exactly how I would do the final project. Finishings, lining, everything. You don't need to do that. You can if you're like an ultra perfectionist, perfectionist, but I wouldn't recommend doing it. It takes up time, it takes up more fabric than you need to use. Basically, when I sew a prototype, I sew the main pieces so that I can basically put it on. Basically, think about sewing a prototype, sew it to the amount so that you can try it on and that it's comfortable to try it on, and so you can actually see what it's going to look like. For example, when I sewed my pretty pink dress, I basically just sewed the skirt and the main bodice pieces, so the front pieces and the back pieces, and the ruffle around the neckline because I wanted to play around with it. I had raw edges everywhere. I didn't finish the armholes, didn't hem the skirt. I did put a zip in because a zip does make a difference on the fit if it's an invisible zip, so I would recommend putting your closure in because it can make a difference. But it was just a really rough thing, so I could try it on, know what roughly the dress would look like in the end. But for, say, fabric for my prototypes, I would generally just go to a charity shop and hunt down some like bed sheets for a couple of quid and use those. And also, I don't cut out every single piece. So say I've got an outfit and there's, say, bias tape on it, don't bother with the bias tape, we don't need to do finishings. Say there's ties for the back, unless it makes an ultra difference to the fit, I might not add it in. Things like if there are sleeves, this may sound weird, but it saves fabric and you get the idea. Say if I've got something that needs sleeves, I will only do one sleeve because the other sleeve's going to be the exact same, so why do I need to do two? So sometimes I just do one sleeve. Things like that. So you don't need to do it so that the prototype doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be enough so that you can try it on, see what it looks like, and that's it. Now, what do all of the names mean and why are there so many? So at the beginning of the video, I listed off 4 different names for a prototype. I only know of 4, there may be more, but I only know of 4, so that's all I'm going to talk about today. Now, so there are 4 different names, they all mean the exact same thing, which is a prototype. And I'm just going to give a little explanation for you because it's interesting and it's great to know if other people are using different names. It's great to know all of them so you don't get confused. So we're going to start off with the 2 traditional ones. Now, for the first one is muslin. Now, you know muslin as the type of fabric, and the reason why a prototype is called a muslin is because traditionally muslin was the fabric used to sew a prototype. Muslin, just plain unbleached muslin, is the cheapest fabric you can get, and it's also a really easy fabric to use. Now, say people like me, I generally use any scrap fabric I can get my hands on. I do own a lot of muslin because I was given it, so I do now drape and prototype with muslin more than I used to, but generally I will just use any fabric I can get my hands on that I don't mind wasting. But traditionally, prototypes were all made with muslin, so hence the name muslin. Now, the next name is actually a French word, and I am dreadful at French, so if there's anybody watching this who is French or speaks fluent French, please forgive me if I get this wrong. This is just what I've been taught in the sewing world. This is the sewing people's explanation for the name. So the next name is a toile. Now, from what I can gather, the reason why it's called a toile is kind of like the same as a muslin is called a muslin. It's because toile means, forgive me if I'm wrong, a lightweight fabric, something of that sort. So it's kind of like muslin, they've just named it after the fabric you'd use to sew a prototype, and that's the only explanation I have for it, really. Sorry. But muslin and toile are the more traditional names, and those are the ones more used professionally. So if you hear muslin and toile, it just means a fabric that you use to sew a prototype with, basically. I just double checked it because I was really worried I was wrong. Toile means a lightweight or plain weave fabric. So once again, the name is named after the fabric that you would use. And then the next 2 names are like the layman's terms for a toile and muslin because they're more self-explanatory, and that's just a prototype or a mock-up. They mean the same thing. It's like the layman's term and they're quite self-explanatory. And then the last thing I have for you in this video is actually a question that I get asked a lot. Every time I talk about prototypes, the importance of sewing them, people ask me what I do with my prototypes once I've finished with them. So I've sewn a prototype and then I've made the final project. What do I do with the prototype? And I do like a couple of different things. Either I repurpose the fabric. Say I've sewn a mock-up for a skirt. That's a lot of fabric there. I repurpose it to make either another prototype or say something else with it. So I either repurpose the fabric or I actually reuse the prototype itself. So I did this a couple of weeks ago, I think. I had like months ago sewn a prototype for like one of those tie front tops. It was like a loose, nice fit tie front top. And for some reason, oh no, that's why. It's because I never actually made the final project for it. I had sewn the prototype for a pattern that I wanted to develop for the channel, but I never ended up doing it because I didn't have the right fabric or something like that. But so I had just been keeping the prototype just in case. And then recently I wanted to sew like a tie front waistcoat for my sister. It's beside the point that that went really wrong and it was a really, really bad project, but that's beside the point. I do this anyway. That was just a bad project. But what I did instead of like starting from scratch with the project is I used the prototype from that tie front top and just repurposed that prototype, made a couple of adjustments on it, like took off the sleeves, changed the armholes, changed the hemline and things, and I had the prototype for the tie front waistcoat. So you can do some things like that. You can either repurpose the fabric or whatever, or say, if I'm going to be brutally honest, say it's like a prototype for a corset. It's going to be tiny bits of fabric, lots of seams everywhere. Lots of the time I do just bin the fabric. Lots of people are going to hate me for that, but sometimes it's fabric that I've already repurposed because I bought it from a charity shop as like a bedsheet or something. So I have already repurposed it for something and there is nothing that can be done with it. So unfortunately sometimes it has got to be thrown away. Oh no. Another thing I did, which I did recently, is I kept all of my scrap fabric and repurposed it into stuffing. That is something that I did with a lot of my prototypes. Once that I couldn't reuse the fabric for anything or reuse the prototype, I cut the fabric up into tiny little pieces and used it for stuffing. I used it, all of the stuffing that I collected over a year, I used it to stuff my puff quilt with. That's another option if you really don't want to ever have to bin fabric or anything. You can repurpose it for stuffing. It's a great way to save your scraps. And that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this more chit-chatty type video. And if you have any more questions about anything, feel free to drop them down below in the comments. Or if you have another reason to sew a prototype that you have, you can drop them down in the comments as well. I'd love to hear it. Everybody else would love another reason to sew a prototype. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you next time on the channel.